All right, welcome everybody to the 2026 Genesis Invitational. We're joined here in the interview room by tournament host Tiger Woods. Tiger, it seems like we've done this several times through the years, but it kind of feels a little different this year. As tournament host, what does it mean to you and the event to be back celebrating the 100th playing of the event?
Yeah, playing the 100th championship here is pretty amazing. For me as a SoCal kid who grew up coming to this event, LA Open, coming here to Riv, it's an iconic sight, and then to see have major championships here. You've had our event here, and for a 16-year-old kid to be able to start here and then now host his own tournament at the same golf course is pretty special.
2026 is a year full of milestones on and off the course. 30 years since you turned pro, your foundation celebrating its 30th anniversary, and the original Learning Lab in Anaheim celebrated its 20th anniversary. You've talked about the great legacy being off the golf course for you. What do these milestones mean to you and the future of the TGR Foundation?
Yeah, our first Learning Lab opened up 20 years ago here in Anaheim. To go from that to now expansion at Lulu's place here as well as in Southern California, and then we just opened up a facility in Cobbs Creek in Philadelphia last year. Now we're going to Atlanta and Augusta, Georgia. So we're expanding quickly, and we're serving the underserved, and I think that's the more important thing. Is that yes, golf has been a big piece of my life, but it's not the only part of my life. The educational side and the opportunities that Stanford has provided me, and the people that I've been able to meet there, and that if I didn't work on my grades, I didn't work on my education side of it, and then I wouldn't have had that opportunity to go to such a great university. So a lot of these kids that we're serving, our first gens, they don't really have an opportunity that they deserve, and it's up to us to be able to facilitate that and give them what they truly deserve as an opportunity and be supported. And that's what the TGR Foundation has done for 30 years and will continue to do so.
We want to recognize another milestone here in the room with us today. We know you go a long way back with this person. Yesterday he celebrated 50 years on air in Los Angeles, talking about sports and all sorts of stories. We're pleased to recognize Mr. Jim Hill. And Jim would like to honor you with the first question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tiger. Good to see you.
You too,
congratulations and everything, and welcome back home. And I'm wondering, how do you feel after these years, knowing that people admire, respect you, and you have so much influence, not only in the game of golf, but in sports in general?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a great career, I think, of 30 years. I've played out here. I've been able to chase my dream, which is playing the PGA Tour, winning golf tournaments, winning major championships. And I've met a lot of people along the way, a lot of sportsmen, a lot of great people all around the world. And I would never have met any of those people. I've had relationships with any of them if it wasn't for the game of golf. And so, or probably where it all started was with your interview.
Yeah. But talk just a little bit about Pops.
Yeah.
How he's got you on the right road.
Yeah, I mean, Dad was unbelievable. He was not only my dad, he was my best friend. He was a lot of different things, and we had an amazing relationship of, I used to, this, go on the Navy golf course where we did our interview, going out there and sneaking on the golf course, be able to play golf with Dad and play in the dark. That was great times, and he was the one that really provided the support and drive for me, and the confidence that he instilled in me that I could chase after my dream, which is playing golf.
And it also keeps you grounded.
Oh, he definitely kept me grounded. We gave each other a lot of grief. It was great banter back and forth. Competitive. He always made everything fun. That was the thing. Dad was always, whatever we did, it was always competitive. One was always competitive, and two was always fun. And because it was fun, we loved to compete, and we did everything together.
Thank you.
Okay, just let everybody know we have a limited time for questions. If you can raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you with Greg or Damien, and we'll start over on this side, please.
Tiger, Taylor Schaap, Spectrum News.
Yeah.
This golf course shares the same zip code as hundreds, if not thousands, of homes that were burned in the Pacific Palisades. To honor that community 1 year later, what does that mean to you?
Last year was just a horrific and terrible time for this entire community. What was going on just north of here, that fire was almost out, and then it just spread and just ripped through here, and the whole community was devastated. But at the same time, the whole community rallied around our event, and we were able to go to San Diego, hold at Torrey Pines. But for us to be able to come back here 1 year later and hopefully help repair this community, it was just a devastating thing. That people lost their lives, lost homes, lost valuables that they will never ever be able to replace. And so hopefully we can make a positive impact this week.
Go to Dan and then next to Doug.
Over here.
Back in the left. It's hard to see, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Knowing you had a bit of a relationship with Anthony Kim back in the day, what did you make of his comeback, and can you speak to the level of natural ability that he has?
Yeah, Dan. I mean, this kid hit it so good. He was on an unbelievable run when he won at Charlotte, and we played against each other at the Congressional. He played unbelievable at the 2008 Ryder Cup. He had so much natural talent. He could hit any shot he wanted. And then to see him, struggle in life and didn't really want to play golf, didn't want to be part of golf, and then for him to come all the way back, and for him to win and to be as devoted as he is to his family, it's a story in which you just have to wrap your heart around it. Because of the struggles. I mean, we all can relate to struggles. We all struggle in life, and the longer it goes, the more times you've had tough times. But for him to fight through it, and for Anthony to get to where he's gotten to from the low that he was in, is something that, as I said, you have to just wrap your heart around it.
We'll go to Doug next and then Adam.
Tiger, on a balance of work and play meaning whatever you've got going health-wise, and work meaning the boardroom, what do you find to be the greater challenge for you right now, and can you give us any kind of an update on where things are looking schedule-wise?
Okay, what part of the schedule?
27.
Okay, got it. Okay, I understand.
Not yours.
I got you. I got you, Doug. No, it's been quite a challenge. It's quite a bit of a challenge on both sides, from the physical golf side of it for me, from trying to do the right thing for all of our membership and our partners and everyone who's associated with the PGA Tour, and trying to do that and trying to make our product even better going forward, given the challenges that we have to face. So it is, I thought I spent a lot of hours practicing in my prime. It doesn't even compare to what we've done in the boardroom. It's been challenging. We're trying to do the right thing. We're making some great strides. The player directors have been unbelievable with their time and their focus and the depth of knowledge and perspective. And then we've had unbelievable board members that come from all walks of life that are wanting to make our tour better and wanting to make our product better.
Was anything wrong with the schedule back in your peak years?
The schedule was different. Okay, so we played, I think it was La Costa at the time, right, as the tournament champions, and then ended sometimes after Halloween. And so that's a 10-month span of golf, and that was all part of the PGA Tour. And there was, at that time, November, December, I think it was considered the silly season. And so it was just a different landscape. We played on the tour for 10 months, had an opportunity to play some fun events, some different type of formatted events in November, December, or some of the players like myself who would go down to Australia or South Africa and play on their tour. So it was just a different landscape than it is now.
Okay, we'll go to Adam on the left here and then to Jeff in the back.
Tiger, along those lines, can you explain to me how less is going to be more for the PGA Tour?
Yeah, we're going to get more top players playing. We're going to make it more competitive by we'll have fewer cards. So that in itself is going to make it more competitive just to be out here. Having Brooks come back, having Patrick Reed play as well as he is and committed to coming back to the tour, having Scotty as dominant as he has been, and to have Rory, complete the career Grand Slam. You have a lot of top players, but also you have a lot of youth that has come up during that time, and we're trying to create opportunities for that turnover coming from the PGA Tour U or it's the Korn Ferry, and try and get more youth out here because eventually they're going to take over the game. And so trying to create that opportunity, trying to create the right competitive model and the environment to foster that, that's been as what Doug asked, that's been the greater challenge of it all.
How close are you to coming back to playing on either the PGA or Champions Tour?
Well, I'm trying, put it that way.
Have you had any setbacks?
The disc replacement has been one thing. It's been a challenge. I've had a fuse back and now a disc replacement. So it's challenging. And now I entered a new decade. So that number is starting to sink in, and has thinking about the opportunity to be able to play, in a cart. So that's something that I've as I said, I won't do out here on this tour because I don't believe in it. But on the Champions Tour, that's certainly maybe a certain opportunity.
Do you have a target yet?
I don't.
All right, let's take one from Jeff in the back there.
Tiger, we've seen you recently doing some captaining work for Jupiter Links. I'm wondering if that's given you a desire, an itch to be the Ryder Cup captain in 2027, if you've heard from the PGA of America, and where that stands.
Good tie in there, Jeff. That was good.
Thought I'd try.
Good. Yeah, they have asked me for my input on it, and I haven't made my decision yet. I'm trying to figure out what we're trying to do with our tour. That's been driving me hours upon hours every day, and trying to figure out if I can actually do our team USA, and our players and everyone that's going to be involved in the Ryder Cup, if I can do it justice with my time. I'm serving on 2 boards, and what I'm doing for the PGA Tour, I'm trying to figure out if I can actually do this and serve the people that are involved and serve them at an honorable level.
Okay, we'll take one from Bob right here on the left.
Tiger, if I could just go back to the physical stuff again, compared to all the other things you've been through, what's the challenge with the disc replacement? And is it fair to say that the Achilles is not an issue anymore? Are you far enough beyond that to where that would be holding you back?
Yeah, the Achilles is not an issue. I can't dunk a basketball anymore, so don't have to worry about that. As far as the disc replacement, it's just sore, and it takes time. Willie Z went through it, and it took him a while to come back, and I'm a little bit older than Willie Z, so it's probably going to take me a little bit longer. My body's been through a lot, and so it's just one of those things where it's each and every day I keep trying, I keep progressing, I keep working on it, and trying to kind of get stronger, try and get more endurance in this body, and try and get it at a level in which I can play at the highest level again.
Are you able to hit full shots yet, or
Yeah.
and are you?
Yeah, I'm able to. Not well every day, but I can hit them.
What about just the quality of life part of this? Like, compared to the microdiscectomies, is this a better outcome than what you dealt with before?
Well, the micros were early, so that's when my back first had any kind of trauma to it. I've had many back surgeries since then, and so the quality of life, it was better back then because it was just new. It was my first operations. I've had many operations since then, so body's been through a little bit more.
Thanks.
Go to Todd right in the middle.
Hey, Tiger. I know you're juggling a lot of things in formulating the PGA Tour schedule, whether it's title sponsors or media partners. What do you see as the biggest challenge in trying to put this new schedule together?
Well, I think it's trying to serve Literally everyone, from the player side of it, from our media partners, from all of our title sponsors, from the local communities, or even changing venues and going to bigger markets. It's what do we need to do from a competitive model to make our tour the best product it can possibly be each and every year, and still have room for development. And how do we do all of that at the same time? And so that's been the challenging part, because there's been a lot of moving parts over the last couple of years to try and get us into the position that we're in now with the FCC, or it's the boards being unified and linked together and working together. So it's been a lot of moving parts, but it's been in sync. That we've had a lot of information thrown our way, which has been great. And everyone's working collaboratively together. And that's where I was hesitant that we're going to be in this position where we're going to work together like this and function at a level to make our product better. But everyone's trying to make the PGA Tour the best tour in the world, make it better than what it is now, make it as how can I put it, as for the players, so that they can come out here at a younger age, like an opportunity, like a 16-year-old kid here at Riviera in 1992 got an opportunity to play. Trying to give that opportunity and those opportunities to these players and the next generations, or the generations to come.
Do you anticipate this new schedule happening in 2027?
We would like to have it happen in 2027. We may have to roll it out over a couple-year period. We may not be able to be implemented all of it in 2027, but there will definitely be parts of it integrated or changed then from what it is now in 26 into 27.
Right, final thing with you in regards to your recovery. Is the Masters off the table for you?
No.
All right, time for just a few more before we wrap up. We'll go to Brentley right in the middle here.
Yeah, Tiger over here.
Yes.
Piggybacking off of Todd's question, many kind of wonder if the West Coast events are better served later in the year when it's better weather. Perhaps this event may be moving into a playoff spot. From your perspective, what would be the benefit of the Genesis being later, maybe in August, maybe a playoff event?
Well, I think that, one, you're going to get weather not like this. That's number one. We're going to have perfect days. I mean, it's always perfect in SoCal here in August. And so, yes, we're looking at things like that, looking to go to bigger markets later in the year for the playoffs, just trying to make our competitive model better. And how do we do that? And I think that is one of the options you mentioned with Genesis that certainly is on the table.
Okay, over here on the right, can't quite see who it is, but go ahead.
Hey, Tiger. This tournament always brings you back to your youth a little bit, as you know, where you started. I've seen you mess around with some of your friends like Justin Thomas out here. I was wondering if you can remember the best golf roast or chirp that you've ever heard on the course.
What's about
the best like golf roast or chirp that you've ever heard on the course?
The later you get in the day here on Friday and Saturday, you tend to hear a few things. Beverages served, things done, and so coming up 17, 18, I've heard a few things, and especially around 10 when you're teeing off and making the turn. I won't say my best golf roast, but I was the most shocked when I was probably out here when I was 8 or 9, to hear some of the banter back and forth between the pros and the gallery. I'll tell you, it wasn't a roast, but I'm going to tell you kind of a cool story. I came down, I was on number 8 green. The old 8 green was on more to the left. And this golf ball comes slamming in there. And I go running over to it, and it's a Ram golf ball. I'm like, oh, never heard of a Ram. What is Ram? I'm 8 years old, right? So I go running over there, and I'm just looking at it, and this caddy just pushes me out of the way. Kid, get out of the way. And I look up, and I don't know who he is at that time. And later find out it was Bruce Edwards, caddying for Tom Watson. So I used to give him a lot of grief about that. He said, yeah, you were in the way. That's just part of the neat things for me. Part of being here at Riv is be able to go back in time, as you said, as a kid.
Real quick, Griff Pippin. Tiger, I want to know, do you have any tips on how to stay jacked in your 50s? Because I tried on some Sunday Red and I did not look like you.
Well, that might because you probably don't do the same things I do in the gym.
Okay. Any one tip or workout you'd recommend?
No, not one workout. It's being disciplined.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, we'll take one final one from Jeff, and then we'll wrap it up. Jeff in the back.
Tiger, with Riviera celebrating 100 years, just wondering if you could talk about some of the ways that this course has kind of stood the test of time and why it's been able to.
Well, I think the layout. Well, granted, they've moved some tees back. Like the 12th tee is nowhere near what it used to be. The 8th hole is nowhere what it used to be. They've moved a few things back here and there. But what has stood the test of time is that iconic first tee shot. That hasn't gone anywhere. We've always played in front of the clubhouse. It's very similar to me. It's similar to the first tee shot at St. Andrews. It's always been in the same spot. And so when you go back through the test of time, you look at all the photos, and you go back 100 years, you're going to see the same tee shot right in front of the clubhouse. There's nowhere to go. And I think that the classicness of the golf course, the bunkering, the subtleness of the green complexes out here, how small they are, how subtle they are. And unfortunately, it's wet right now, but when it dries out here, this is one of the harder golf courses to post a score on.
All right, Tiger, we appreciate your time as always. I'll ask you to stay here, and we'll introduce Tournament Director, Mr. Mike Andolini, who's on his way up. Thank you, everybody.